What is up, guys? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. You have the one, the only, the GOAT, Matt at Dead Press Picks, as well as me, AC. Hope you guys are having a good time. It's Tuesday. Eastern Conference right now is tied 2-0. Western Conference Warriors looking to sweep tonight, but we'll get into that. Before we do that, give a quick shout out to our buddies at 7 Stack Sports, the best book on Twitter. And, we've been working with them for several years now. I mean, we're about to hit like 110 or 115 episodes. Our best bets record is off the chain, but these books right here, this book right here is the best. They do same day payouts if you're using cryptocurrency, reduced juice lines. They're doing an awesome promotion later today. And Dead will talk about that. And if you're betting baseball, which right now we're in the heat of the MLB and KBO season, they offer -1 and +1 line. So give them a shout, give them a follow, give them a DM, and get set up today. They are by far the best book on Twitter. All right, Dad.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You see a little background too on them, 24/7 customer service, and then the same day payouts in crypto. But yeah, if you guys sign up, again, you got a huge bonus giveaway right now, 100% free play bonus. That does come with a 3 times rollover. But, I mean, -1 MLB lines, there it is right on the screen. The -1 MLB lines are obviously the biggest key, in my opinion, using 7 Stacks. There's hits, runs, and errors bets that I do a lot. If you guys want them, make sure you guys take advantage of the best sportsbook. But let's get into last night's game, AC. Heat Celtics. I didn't know if you had a side on that. I had the Celtics and Jimmy Butler's under. So that game was a match made in heaven for me. I mean, it was a blowout. He didn't even really play the third or fourth quarter. I mean, I tweeted this out yesterday. From a fan standpoint, it's been a little tough to watch these playoffs. From a gambling standpoint, it's fun, right? When your team's blowing them out and you win a game early, or kind of like I had last night if you have a prop and that kind of thing happens. But just a dominant game from Boston, and it's been a real flip-flop kind of series. 2-2 now. Who do you think holds the advantage in this series?
Yeah, I think you and I went a combined 5-0 last night in this game. I had the Celtics first half -4. I had the Heat Celtics under, which wasn't even close. I mean, the Heat barely scored any points last night. And then Grant Williams over 4.5 assists and rebounds. I think he had like 8. So he almost doubled that. 3-0 for me, 2-0 for you. We continue to stay hot in these NBA playoffs. As far as who I think favors, I think it has to be Boston, man. I know it's been zigzag this entire series, right? Miami, Boston, Miami, Boston. But I think Miami's kind of hurt, hobbled right now. Jimmy Butler, if he's not 100%, Miami doesn't really have that go-to guy that can get buckets for you, carry your team on his back. Like Bam is a great player. Tyler Hero is a good player, 6th man of the year, but they don't have a superstar. And honestly, Jimmy Butler isn't a superstar, but in the playoffs, he becomes, the superstar. Without him, I think Jason Tatum by far is the best player in the series. So I would say Boston. I'm assuming you agree.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the live odds, I think Boston's like -150 to win the series. I still give them an advantage. See, it's interesting because Miami's been a great home team. Boston's been a great road team. So obviously to win the series, Boston has to take one in Miami, whether that's game 5 or whether that's game 7. The key, in my opinion, is when Robert Williams plays, this team defensively is 10 times better. I mean, they have a true rim protector when Williams is in there. As much as Al Horford's been good in this series, he's not nearly the defender. Daniel Tice, obviously, not nearly the defender. But, I mean, when Robert Williams plays defensively, they have shut down teams throughout the postseason. I mean, he gives you a jolt offensively as well, but just the way that he protects that paint, the energy that he brings, I think that makes Boston the better team when he's on the court. The issue has been these teams have both been plagued by injuries in the series. Tyler Hero doesn't go last night. Smart doesn't go last night. Mm-hmm. Butler gets hurt in game 3. Tatum, a lot of injuries in this series, which kind of sucks. You want to see both teams at full strength. But I don't know who it favors at the moment. I think Boston has looked more impressive in this series, in my opinion. So I still like Boston to win the series there at -150. I think it's still a good time if you haven't hopped on, because I do think they get game 5. and shift it and then take care of it in game 6. But I also won't be shocked if we go 7 and they get it done to 7. So
yeah,
we shall see. Game for tonight, AC, if you want to hop in, you got your Mavs in action.
Yeah. Before we get to that, Dad, we have a few comments here by our boy Alex Workman. Great collab here and duel with AC and Dead Press. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate. We love our followers. Alex been one of the OGs. I also got a DM because everyone's trying to jump on this amazing promotion right now, Dead. 100% free play bonus for new and existing customers. 3 times rollover. That means you get a free bet tonight or whenever you want to use it. This is for new and existing users. I just got a DM, Dead. Is Austin Driscoll. He says, hey, man, just trying to make sure 7 Stacks is legit. I know you promote them, but just want to be extra careful. Cheers. You want to answer that for them, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we wouldn't put our faces behind a book that's not, because then, we fall down too. But I mean, you've used it, right? I've used it. A bunch of people we know and have, directed to, but always on time. My favorite's the same day payout and cryptocurrency. And I mean, the -1 lines, you guys see it, everything I post with MLB, NHL, whatever, KBO, I'm going -1. I do it all with 7 Stacks. So, we have a lot of opportunities to work with a lot of sports books, but we've always wanted to work with Stacks because of, the legitimacy. It's a fair question too. I always tell people that, right? Especially, you have to be sure that it's a legitimate book, cap or whatever. You should do your homework. So it's a good question, but there's no doubt about Stacks being the most legit on Twitter.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Dead Prez. I agree with him 100%. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't believe in them. All right, tonight's game, I think the Mavs blow them out. I'm going to be short and sweet on this. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I think we're going to see 2 blowouts, actually. Dallas blow them out in game 4, and the Warriors blow them out in game 5. Reason being, Golden State's going back home anyways. Sure, they want to take care of it and get this game, but I think I think Dallas gets 1 for the fans, and I do think it's a blowout. So I'm looking at alternate lines like -9.5, -10.5. I think it's going to be a double-digit game, and I'm liking unders for all of the Steph Curry points, Draymond Green rebounds, Klay Thompson threes. I just think it's a blowout. I could be completely wrong. I misread game 3. I thought the Mavs were going to kind of take care of business in the first half. Y'all saw how bad of a beat that was in that first half. But I think the Mavs cover the first half today and then blow them out in the second half. I could be biased. I'm not going to the game or anything. Short and sweet. I just think Luka gets 1 for the home fans.
Yeah, I think the Mavs win. I don't know if they blow them out here, but I do think they win. Like I said, last game, if you watch that game, Mavs had open shots all game. They easily could have won if they just shot the ball halfway decent. Bullock and Cleveland were 0 for 600 from 3 combined. Really, the only guy who played well outside of Luka was Dinwiddie. I said a pre-series, AC. I said Warriors. I thought they were going to get it in 5, right? So I'm going to bet on the Mavs again because I think they do get one of these games. Denver took 1 from Golden State. Mm-hmm. I think the Steph Curry had a post-game interview and they asked him about game 4, and he said, well, at this point, we're just playing with house money. The intensity from Golden State is not going to be the same, in my opinion, because they know that the series is over. Dallas, they want to at least get a game, give themselves a chance. They should be the more motivated team tonight. Golden State did their job. They won 2 at home. They stole 1 on the road. You're not beating Golden State in Golden State twice. You're not going to beat them if it goes back to Dallas for 6. The series is done. But I do think we get a game 5. And the other thing you say, and I always say this, the NBA, they want more games. So Dallas is getting calls to them.
Hey, you screwed me in the first round with that because I bet all these game 6 underdogs to win, and they all lost. There were no game 7.
It comes from the mouth of a former ref, and he went to my high school too, Tim Donaghy, even though he cheated on games, they say. He
went to your high school?
He did. Carnell O'Hara alum, just like myself.
Wow.
But he did say, and it's pretty
I agree. Yeah.
It's a business, right? So, I mean, these refs are being told, hey, we won another game, more revenue for the league, whatever. It's a better look. Dallas will get the calls tonight. It's going to come down to, like I said there before the series, Lucas played great in this series, right? He scored 40 points again in the last game. He can only do so much. Their role players were the guys who had to step up. Bullock was brutal. Cleveland's been real inconsistent. He was really good in round 1, but then, I mean, the last – and even against Phoenix, he had a couple of really good games. brutal shooting game last game. So
Agree.
I think Dallas bounces back, though. I don't know. A blowout's confident there, AC, but I think
Blowout. I think it's similar. It's similar to when Golden State went to Memphis, and they were trying to rock the what is it, rock the trip or something like that, and they just like, you know. But basically, Mavericks lost this series game 2, second half. Right, they were up double digits. I think they were up 19 sometime in that third quarter, and the Warriors came back not only to win, but they covered the spread too, which is insane. But that's when the Mavs lost the series. I thought they were going to take one in game 3, but they'll take one tonight, game 4. So I do like Mavericks tonight. I think Luka is going to continue to cook. We're going to see threes made by Maxey and Bullock tonight. You're right. They both went over in game 3. Kind of a letdown there, and they only lost by 7 or 9 points. So if a couple of those threes go through, then they could have won that game. But yeah, give me Dallas tonight, man.
All right, let's go to the prop department real quick. One prop I love, and a lot of people might question, is Reggie Bullock over 2.5 threes. I love betting on bounce back guys, and his shots this entire series, they've been wide open. You know, there was Max Kellerman on ESPN. He was saying Luka does not make his teammates better, which was just a ludicrous statement. Because if you watch, their shots are essentially uncontested. It's very rare that you see Dallas take a contested three outside of Luka, and he likes to shoot through contact. You know, that little step back that he does. 2.5 threes for Bullock. Also, I gave this out on my other show this morning for Bullock to score more points than Dorian Finney-Smith. So kind of like a head-to-head teammate type of bet. Yeah, I think Bullock gets more volume. He has all series. I think he's going to hit a couple early that kind of give him confidence. Maybe he gets 2 in the first half. But 2.5 for him, perfect bounce-back spot. And then I'll give you one final prop that I like before we go to your props, AC. I'm going to go Andrew Wiggins under 16.5 at plus money. Again, it's a regressional bet. He's been great this series. But at the end of the day, I still think Wiggins is their 4th scoring option. And 17 is a lot for a 4th scoring option. So give me the under on Wiggins tonight. Do you like any props for this one?
Yeah, I like the under. Steph Curry, 27.5. I know he's been having a great series. He's 32, and he's kind of turning back the clock in this series. He's the runaway favorite right now for NBA Finals MVP futures. But I think because of how the game script is going to be tonight, I think he's going to get a lot of the fourth quarter off. Same with Draymond Green. If you look at his PRA, so points, rebounds, and assists, let me grab that real quick. Draymond Green under 21.5. He's been scoring a lot better this series, but his assist numbers are down. His rebound numbers are down. I think the lack of minutes tonight will get the under there. I usually don't do player props, maybe once or twice a week, but I do like both of those spots. With that being said, I think Luka is going to eat. I think at the end of the day, this is going to be their last home game. As a thank you for the fans, he might drop 40 tonight. But yeah, that's really it. I love Mavericks first half in this game too.
Okay. All right. I love that as well. Let's go to the NHL real quick. We have about 6 minutes to go, guys. Before we do move on, real quick question in the chat here from Betting Tristan. Do you think Curry hits 3 or more threes tonight? What do you think?
What was the question?
Do you think Steph Curry hits 3 or more threes tonight? So assuming that's a 3.5 over.
I feel like Steph Curry threes is one of the hardest player props to bet.
I've never bet it.
Because he could hit that in 3 straight possessions, right? Or he just is off. So, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. Is he going to get the amount of attempts? Let's say he shoots around 35%. He's going to need 9 to 10 attempts. I don't think he's going to hit that many attempts tonight, to be honest. So he has to either be really hot and go 4 for 7, or he needs a lot of attempts, and I don't see the latter happening. So no, I guess is my question or my answer.
Okay. All right. I like it. Let's move to the ice for this one. This has been an interesting series, right? Carolina and New York.
Yeah.
Like goals, don't watch this series, but if you like goaltending, keep an eye on it. We know how good Shesterkin was during the regular season. He'll win the Vezina, presumably. And then also Rantanen on the other side for Carolina. He has been great. Carolina has not lost a home game in the postseason. New York has been pretty solid on home ice as of late, winning their last 3 in the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much a pick 'em tonight, AC. I like Carolina to steal this one on the road. I picked them pre-series there. I think they win this series in 5 or 6. What's your thoughts on this?
Dad, that's how I know you're sharp, man. I think everybody, the whole world is going to expect the Rangers to take care of home ice tonight and tie the series up 2-2. I think that is 100% sucker bet. I agree with Dad. If I had to pick a side, it would be Carolina tonight. On the road, they are the better team, just playing better form. It's an under play again. I know it's scary at 5.5, but I'm just going to ride this under. I think the unders have been sharp the entire playoffs. You can't continue to bet favorites and overs, right? And expect to be profitable in hockey. So I do like the under, and I'm with Dad. I would side with the road team tonight.
All right, I'm going to give one prop because I'm hot with NHL.
Oh, yeah, you're hot, man. I saw the shots on goals last night.
Shan getting 2 for me, former Flyer, so he had to show me some love. I knew Adam Foxer over 0.5 point. Okay, so he can score a goal, get an assist. You know, he's always on that power play for New York, on that top unit, top defenseman. He's going to get involved, I think. I actually do think we see some goals tonight because I think everyone's kind of thinking under. But that Penguin series, AC, there was a lot of goals scored in that series. So despite how good Shesterkin is, Carolina's a really good offensive team. They've kind of been held down a little bit. I think they get to it tonight. And kind of like you said, I think a lot of people will end up being on New York. So I think Carolina will probably be the less public side, which we love as well. But I like that prop there on Fox. Let's get to the Flames Oilers, AC, because this one –
I think this is a tough one.
I love Calgary tonight here as a dog.
Wow, that's ballsy.
But
that is ballsy, and I like that.
Yeah, I took Edmonton pre-series personally. It wasn't anywhere free or anything. I think Edmonton wins the series, but I think this one goes 7. There's a little bit of the flip-flop factor. Home ice obviously matters here, but we saw Edmonton go into Calgary's building and get the win. Calgary defensively, they're typically a much better team. I mean, they just have looked kind of lost at times. Edmonton will do that to you, right? They have one of the best offenses in the NHL.
Dallas broke them, Bo. Dallas broke them.
They might have. I mean, the way that, you know, they were playing in net that series, that nothing was getting through. I think that Calgary gets it done tonight then, at plus money.
You see how happy Calgary was after they got rid of Dallas? Like, they were like, man, we don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to play the Stars and Andre anymore, the best goalie in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Andre was cracked. Yeah.
So they ended up scoring 9 in game 1, right? They just basically scored all their goals there. It's hard. I think Edmonton has a higher top end talent, but Calgary is the better team from lines 1 to 5. It's a tough. I think I'm gonna lay off on this one. I think I agree with you. It's a Calgary read. I think the public is going to be on Edmonton pretty heavy tonight. I kind of like the under again in this game, but that's scarier to me than the first game. I'm going to lay off. It's the late game of the night. Weird things usually happen in the last game in sports for the night. So I'm laying off and just watching your bet. And if you have a prop, I'm going to follow that as well.
All right. I love it. I might get a prop out there. You know, the shots on goal props are fun because, I mean, they come – so spread, like you could have none all game and then get 2 put on power. Like it's crazy. There's no way. And I would never take an under on a shots prop. I just feel
my gosh, that would be so annoying to watch.
Yeah, that just sounds awful. Real quick though, AC, we were asked by Ernie. I don't know how to say the second part of that, about how we feel about the under 1.5 goals in the first period of Carolina and New York. I actually like the over here. I kind of said it earlier. I think they're just due for an offensive breakout. They're both pretty good offensive teams. Although the numbers this series would suggest the under, obviously, in that first period. But it's kind of how I bet. Obviously, a little bit different style there. But I think that they do land a couple.
I think this is where Dad and I disagree a little bit. I'm not sure about the first period, but let's say we do see 2 to 3 goals in that first period. I would love the live under. Probably live under 6.5 or maybe 7. Yeah. So I mean, it has been an under series. The goaltending has been elite on both sides. But yeah, hopefully it's a good game tonight.
Any MLB AC before we get to best bets that you want to throw out for the people?
Yeah. Before we get to MLB, let's go ahead and let people know this amazing promo that Seven Stacks is doing. Definitely give them a follow. Let me put their Twitter on the screen. Right there. So follow Seven Stack Sports on Twitter, the best book on Twitter by far. They're doing an amazing promo right now for existing clients as well as new customers. 100% free play bonus, 3-time rollover. If you don't want to do that, there's going to be other promotions. Just shoot them a DM, let them know that you're signing up, and myself and Dad will hook you up with some stuff. So definitely do that. Okay, baseball tonight. I wish there was early baseball. You know how I love the early baseball. But as I look through the slate, that I kind of like St. Louis tonight. I know they're going against Gaussman, who's elite for Toronto, but I think it's a St. Louis play again.
Yeah, college baseball on right now.
College baseball, man, that's taking it next level.
Bets that.
I think it's another Pittsburgh play, man. I was on the Pirates yesterday. They won 2-1 on one of the worst hits ever on the bottom of the 8th. I think they get it done again tonight.
It was Yoshi got the infield single there. I was on them with you. I'm going to go with a pick that a lot of people probably aren't going to like because they suck right now, but the Giants to bounce back tonight at home. You got Logan Webb, and he shoves at home. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something like he's only lost one of his last 20 starts. Like the Giants have won like 19 of his last. It's some crazy stat. I think that San Francisco will not make the playoffs. I am on their season team total under. I don't think they're really – well, they obviously overachieved last year, but you lost Chris Bryant off that team. You lost Buster Posey retired, and a lot of guys just overachieved, to be honest, last season. But I do think they get a bounce-back win tonight. That line also, they're a favorite here against Chris Bassett, who's arguably been the best arm in the National League, and they're still a favorite here. I like the under and the Giants tonight on the diamond. So don't, a lot of people put certain teams on their ban list. Don't do it yet to the Giants. I think they're going to be a good fade throughout the season, but tonight I think they do get the win.
Hey, quick shout out to both our teams, Phillies and the Rangers, kind of coming around. Yeah, heating up, man. I like it.
We're getting back to work. All right, guys, it is time for our best bets segment, which we
let me go ahead and hype this on Twitter real quick.
Yeah, we're hitting at a supreme rate. I'm going to quote tweet it also and get the chat popping here. But we have been killing these all season long, so we're going to just wait a minute, and then we are going to give you guys. So basically, if you're new, at the end of the show, we just give our most confident bet of the night for Two in the Zone. We'll recap them after as well, but we usually get into them towards the last minute or two of the show. I will kick us off in a brief second whenever you guys are good. AC, you just said the Cardinals, so this is going to disappoint you, but I'm going with Toronto at minus 135. Okay, so I think Toronto here. So my Two in the Zone play of the night is the Blue Jays here on the money line. I think they bounce back. They've lost a couple in a row, and they have been ice cold offensively during this stretch, like 3 runs in their last 3 or 4 games. They're too gifted swinging the bats. Hicks on the mound can be a mess, man. I mean, he walks a lot of guys. He's only giving them a couple innings. Like, it's more of an opener type of thing. I do not trust him. I don't really trust, certain long relievers in their pen. And Kevin Gausman has been lights out since coming over from one of the best arms in the American League. He was great last year. That's another loss that was tough for San Francisco last year. I mean, he was dominant for the Giants. So, Blue Jays money line, they bounce back tonight. So
all right, let's try to get our 2-0 streak continuing here. We are on fire. We're almost at 80% dead on these best plays. I think we're at like 78, 79%. But I mentioned earlier we both like the Carolina Hurricanes. I lean Pittsburgh Pirates, but my best bet is going to be those Dallas Mavericks, man. I think they're going to be able to prevent the sweep tonight against the Warriors. Going to get one at home for the fans. It'll be the last game in Dallas for the season. Super overachieving team. Dad mentioned this. I think Bullock is going to have a great bounce back game tonight. Maxey's going to hit a couple threes. And I think Golden State came to Dallas and did what they intended. They got the first game and they're good to go. So I think Dallas is going to win tonight. Give me the -1, but if you want to do, alternate spread as well, I think they're going to win by at least 2 possessions. So -6.5 and up, I think would be great plus odds.
Yeah, the big hit if you guys can get that as well. Guys, one more time before we leave, AC, can you show us the awesome promotion that 7 Stacks is running? Guys, 100% free play bonus, a 3-time rollover if you sign up today. Just say you were from 2 in the Zone, DM them right there on Twitter at 7 Stack Sports, get set up. -1 baseball lines. I don't play 1.5. I never play 1.5. I will never play 1.5. Make sure you guys do it. This is where I get it. This is where me and AC do them. For KBO, it's great as well, so you don't have to sip on that juice. If you like a favorite, you go -1. You can also do +1 if you like the dog and you don't want to go with the 1.5. So there's a lot of ways that you can work it. Also for NHL, you can do -1. You can pretty much do anything on the sportsbook.
We have about 100 people in the live right now. If you guys want us to do a free collab, myself and Dad, go ahead and retweet this video, DM 7 Stack Sports, and we'll post our collab tonight for free.
All right, guys. I'm just talking in the chat there. We had some comments about how the NBA will not let them sweep. We will be back with 2 more episodes, guys, this week. Just keep an eye out. AC will tweet out the day, the time. We'll try and let you guys know a few hours before, but we will be back soon. Have a nice day.